Hey there everybody, it's Kelly with kellyscards.ca and welcome to this third card in my everyday card kit number 8. So I thought wedding season is upon us and this would be a beautiful wedding card. This could be an anniversary card. I have included many sentiments that you can use like celebrate, congratulations, love you, and really like those sentiments that you can add to this card to really make it the card that you need. So I've taken this regular card base and I've scored it right down the middle on the front, and then I am going to die cut this piece so we can have a flop card. So now I've die cut that piece and you can see here is the flop part. Really like this interactive card. So you can take your bone folder or your fingers and just help make this crease, and I've picked out some papers to help accent this card. So to get started, we're going to take this piece here. You can use either side, and then you are going to push it down with either your bone folder or your hand. Make sure that it is really adhered on there. So I'm going to take this piece and I'm just going to add some adhesive down 3 sides. Do not put any on this side because this is the side that's going to go here where this hole is. And we're just going to add this to our card, and once that's been added we can flip this over and we're actually going to hand cut out this circle. So one thing that I like to do is I like to put my scissors in behind here with my hand. I can feel my finger here, and I'm just going to make a couple cuts in so I can get into some of these spots I need to get into. And we're going to only cut up to where this die has cut out the heart. So to start out, I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to get into this area here. And then once I get into that area there, it will be a lot easier to continue cutting out this piece. And I'm just going to use this edge here as a guide. And I'm just going to cut all the way around. Do this nice and slow. And then once we've got this cut out, we'll be ready to do the next step. And now that piece has been cut out and we're ready to go. Once I flip this over, you can see how nice that looks, and we can continue with the card. To add some interest into this opening piece, because this is obviously not closed like your standard card, I've picked this piece of cardstock, and we will now add this to the inside of the card. And I really like the different patterns that this is going to create on this card. And as we add that, you can see that just adds, you can see the foiled effect on there, really nice. You're going to be able to write on this portion here, and that opens like that. So to decorate up this piece, I have die cut this heart. I love this piece because it almost looks like it's been stickled, so there's a little bit of glimmer to it, and I think that will just add a nice tone to this card. So I'm going to add this piece now, and then we're going to put our sentiments on top of this heart and layer up the sentiments. So we want to bring this in and have this as centered as we can have it. And might have to move your fingers just a little bit to make sure that's actually pretty good right there. And I'm just going to push this on. And I really like how that is starting to look. For the decoration on this piece, I have taken some white cardstock and I've embossed it with these cute little X's and O's, and we're just going to slide this in here, and we don't want to see it, so we want to make sure that this covers that piece. Now when I open it up, I can kind of adjust it so it's nice and straight, and this piece is what we're going to open up onto. So I'm just going to add some adhesive to this piece. And then again, I'm going to use this to make sure it is hidden. And then I will just adjust it. I'm just going to look one more time to make sure I like where it is and that it's covered, and I will put this down. And not only is this a beautiful looking card, but with the texture it'll add something a little extra. So now I've got that on there. Again, this is the place that people can write, so we don't have to worry about adding any pieces in here to write, and really like that look. Sometimes people will decorate this side as well, but we're going to leave this open to be able to write a message, and we're going to add our sentiment to the outside. So you'll see a bunch of sentiments that are provided. You can cut them out and use them as you want. If you want to use this as perhaps a wedding card, you could do a congratulations and celebrate type thing. I've got 2 different celebrates here for you, and you can kind of put whichever one you like. If you want to just send like an I love you card, I have made this cute little love you sentiment. And of course I've got some other accents that you can add to this card. So in your little Ziploc bag you'll find a variety of little hearts and some sequins. And when we just bring these out, feel free to use these on your other projects because there's a lot going to be left over after doing this card. I really like this congratulations and this celebrate together, so I'm going to use those. And then I've got a black sequin and a white one, and then I'm going to pick out a heart. And I want to have something a little bit different sized than the sequence, so I'm going to bring in one of the largest hearts here and have that about there. Maybe I'll bring my sentiments down a little bit and have this piece there. And you can kind of play around. Maybe you don't like the bigger one, maybe you want something like this, and you can just move it around and see what one you like. There is also some of these little framed hearts that I have included, and you can feel free to add those as well. That would look pretty cool there. This would also look nice. I think I like the regular solid heart, so I'm going to add that there like that. So now to add these pieces, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just clean up all of these out of the way, and I'm going to bring in my multi-matte medium to do the sequence, and I'm going to use my tape runner to add the sentiments. Before I add my sentiments here, you can see that there's white edges. I'm just going to take a black marker. I'm using this Memento Dual brush marker. Really like this product, and it just helps to make the edges darken up so it doesn't stick out like the white edges do. And once I do that, I'm just going to let it dry because I don't want to have the black spreading across my project if it's still wet. And there. It's probably a good idea you just wash your hands after to make sure you don't have any of that black on your hands, because you don't, again, want to transfer it to your project. So now when I bring this in here, you want to make sure that you add the adhesive only to this section, because you don't want adhesive over here. You don't want this to stick down like that. You only want it to stick to this heart because the heart opens. So just flip this over and add your adhesive to that part, and leaving this piece not adhered. And what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to put my hand up to where the adhesive is, and I'm going to add it right to that spot and push down nice and firmly. And I'm going to do the same thing with this second word, the celebrate. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. Hold my finger up to where the adhesive is so I know where the adhesive is, and that way I won't have to worry about it overhanging. And now when I open this, nothing sticks and it looks to be in a good spot. So really like that with the words hanging off of the heart. And lastly, we can add those little elements now, the sequence and the little heart. And you can move things around to see how you like them. Maybe we could have something like that. And I like where everything is. So the first thing is I'm going to add this little sequin and just lift it with my finger. and dab a little of this on, and then I'll bring my Tim Holtz tool in to add some pressure so that this will really stick, and I will do the same thing with this black sequin. And I got a little bit on there, so I'm just going to pull some of that off with my tool quickly. That's what I love about this tool. It is so useful. So again, I'm going to just push that on there. I'm just going to continue to push this one on here. It seems more cupped than some of the other sequins. And lastly, I'm going to add this little heart. And I'm going to bring this in, try to have it as upright as I can. And once I've got that placed on there, I'm just going to bring this acrylic block in, just to add a little bit of pressure to both the heart and the sequence, just so it adheres nice. And while I'm waiting for that, I'm just going to take all of these extra pieces, the extra sentiments and the extra hearts, and I'm going to put them back into my Ziploc bags just to make sure that none of them go anywhere. And we can use these on another project. I've given that some time to dry, and I really like how that looks. And to add a little bit of consistency from the outside to the inside of the card, you're going to find this strip, and I'm just going to add it to the inside, and I think this will just help add a little bit of consistency, like I said, from the outside to the inside of the card. And I'm just going to put it into this corner here. Really like how that adds into the card. And that will finish off this third card in this Everyday Card Kit series. Again, there is 2 more cards on the way. I really like the tones in this card. Again, we've got the foiled paper, and like I said, this paper kind of looks like someone stickled it, so really like that paper. And then the regular designed cardstock adds a nice feel. And then just the black sentiments and the accents really add a lot to this card. So I hope you enjoyed this card. You can check me out on my website at kellyscards.ca. You can subscribe for more videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.